How's it going? This is Kyle with Rogers Family Roofing. We're over here at the Janzen's residence, and we're going to do a repair attempt. Weather outside is beautiful. It's a very sunny, clearly. Nearly 50 degrees, if not just a touch above that now. It's a beautiful day to be doing this. So to take a look at our repair area, I've gone ahead and I've bracketed off the shingle that we're going to be pulling. Most of you won't forget. This is an agreed upon point of damage, according to the adjuster and I. This is also a similar piece of damage, so we've got both of those marked. Taking a look at the overall condition of the shingles themselves, you'll see that other than the damage points, these are in really, really great shape. I also went and numbered all the shingles in which we're gonna have to mildly manipulate around in order to get this shingle pulled. But yeah, no creases, really, really good shape overall speaking. But one thing that is really strange on this one is the adjuster agreed that these pieces were damaged here as well as one more. We've also got a very similar phenomenon where it's starting to tear sideways and up into the shingle above, going on in two other places here. And we do have documented evidence of this from the initial inspection in late 2025. But we've got this guy here doing the same thing, very, very similar. And this is on the front half of the home, left slope, kind of somewhat above the garage. And then we have this one over here on the very front of the home, on one of the front elevations. And again, very, very similar thing going on here. It's tearing, it's going up underneath the shingle above it, and yet these 2 points are not counted as any sort of damage. So I'm not sure what's up. So back to our main reason why we're here is to do this repair attempt. So to first start this whole thing off, I do need to fully loosen all of the affected shingles that we're gonna have to be working with and around. So I'm gonna take my cat's paw here. We're just gonna very, very carefully, as you can see, I am not lifting the shingle up at all. I'm keeping this as flat as I possibly can. We're just going to free our shingle that we plan on removing from our work area. So we do have to go up to the next course. There we go. And even then, I'm trying very hard to find the easiest way into the shingle as to not cause damage to the surrounding shingles. Okay, one more after this. Just slide it along, perfect. There we go. So next from here, we're gonna need to pull the fasteners from the two courses above the shingle that we're pulling. As we can see, these are staples. Staples are not up to current code and therefore require a ton of extra, and realistically we can't use staples anymore. So to get the staples out, we are going to go up underneath the shingle. There we go. Very gently loosen them up. There we go. Staple pulled. We're going to go to the next one. The next fastener is right here. Staple out. This one we can actually get without even having to do that, which is perfect. There we go. Next from here, this one we can pull as well, but this shingle's already been slowly loosening. And Gabe, just to get in here a little bit, this actually is already starting to show some damage, kind of right here. You can see that crack in the shingle, and that's just from the wind picking up the fastener or the shingle, loosening the fastener over time. So there we go. First course of fasteners has been removed. Next, we are going to go up to the next course. There we go. Pop that one out. Just kind of looking for our fasteners really quickly here. Sun is not doing me any favors. Actually, I have to go up underneath this one in order to get that. Actually, Gabe, go ahead and come up over here real quick. So this is actually torn through the shingle, and this is the primary reason why staples are no longer being used, is they just become damaged like this. I think it's very fair to say that I'm being extraordinarily gentle on these shingles to give our repair area every favor we can. So there we go. Shingles coming out now. A little bit of granule loss on this one, not too bad realistically. Granule loss is not a cause of loss, but you do need the granules to be on the shingles to retain their water shedding capability. Without the granules, well, the water just goes straight through the fiberglass shingle. So we will go ahead and set our repair shingle over there. Now we will go and get our replacement This is the closest replacement we could find given the notice and the availability of this particular shingle, which is no longer in stock. So I'm just gonna keep this one upside down to make it a little easier for my cameraman to see so we can kind of match it up. And as we can see, we've got 1.5 inches that we have to trim off this shingle. The trimming of shingles in the field is not permitted according to manufacturers, only along the rakes and in the valleys. It's not up to code because it's not the similar dimensions to the shingle. Color aside, this is a dimensional issue. It is not the same dimension both in overall length, and then we will flip the shingle over really quick so we can try and check out the exposure. Try and get this all lined up. So lined up there to where it should be. And let's bump this a little closer. It's about a 1/4 inch spacing along the exposure line. So this shingle is not compatible at the end of the day, but we press on. So I'm just gonna flip this over again, kind of get everything lined up. And notice I'm lining up with the actual shingle up top here, not the tab itself. So that way we are getting this thing as close as we can to fit. So there we go, okay. I'm actually going to grab a secondary knife just to get through this strip, make it a little easier. There we are. There we go. Okay. Slide this in there. We're bumping up into something here. Feels like maybe a fastener of some sort.
Oh yeah, right there.
Looks like I got to pull another fastener, which again, this is a shingle that was never intended to be used with this because this is bumping up directly into the shingle lines on things. So let's see here, because this is actually a little outside of where it should have been according to the last shingle we had. There we go. Thank you, sir. Making sure all my stuff is lined up. We're just going to pound this staple back in. Luckily, it was still mostly in place. All right, nearly measured up. Okay, and again, as we can see, I'm gonna see if I can shade this maybe for a better shot. There is an exposure difference here. So, with all that being said, I cannot reuse the staples. They are not according to code. I'm gonna have to use cap nails for this one. So, off we go. There we go. We're already starting to get a little bit of granule loss on this one. You can see right up here by the 5. Again, granule loss is not a causation for loss, but you do need the granules on the shingles in order for them to maintain their water shedding capability. So, trying my hardest to barely get these lifted up. Perfect. Actually reuse one of the holes on that one. There we go. There we go. We're starting to get just a little bit of crease action going on right here on shingle number 8. You can already see where it's already starting to try and fail on us. Small, but these little ones eventually end up causing lots of big problems. So, pressing on. There we go. Starting of some creasing, you can actually kind of see right here. And this is just from getting the shingle lifted up on a perfect day to be doing this, mind you. Oops. Mildly got my finger with that one. And this one again has already been classified as damage, so this is pre-existing. And again. Okay. Repair attempt is completed. How does everything look? The biggest issue that we had was actually in one of these. Where is it at? Where the fastener tore all the way through. There we go. This area where the fastener tore all the way through and removing the staple. So damage on that one. We can actually see in this one right here. It's also starting to tear just a little bit by getting that fastener out. And then we had one more, I think it was over here on number 4. Yeah. Number 4. So anyways, at the end of the day, this one is so close to fully passing, but between the staples and the compatibility of materials, this one ultimately fails. And in addition, we still have these other 2 spots that are doing the exact same thing this is doing as well. So again, this is Rogers Family Roofing for the Janzen residents.